Hey ladies and gentlemen, so today we're going to be comparing three coding agent IDEs: Windsurf running Claude 3.7, Cursor running Claude 4, and VS Code with a plugin called AMP, and it's an extension. And it's running, basically they say that they want to get out of your way and they're picking the models for you. I'm assuming at this time, since you're paying for credits, they're giving you access to Claude 4 for the coding, maybe Gemini 2.5 Pro or Flash for some of the MD files or kind of documentation components of the workflow. And yeah, basically that's what we're comparing today. Windsurf with Claude 3.7, Cursor with Claude 4, and AMP plugin with maybe a mix of different models, hopefully top-end models, because you're paying quite a premium to run those at a per credit basis. So the methodology is it's a one-shot simple WordPress WooCommerce plugin. We're given detailed instructions to each one and rules to each one. The instructions and the rules are essentially identical. They handle them a little bit differently. So for example, we have Windsurf running here. Windsurf expects one rule file for everything. And this is basically getting passed as context to each run. And the instructions, these have been generated with Claude 4. These are very detailed. It specifies what we want, compatibility, design, lots of nuances are specified in our instruction MD file, just to kind of hopefully hit all the bases and make sure that just with a single prompt, with a single run, we get an actual working product as a result. So Windsurf is moving along here. Cursor, this is AMP. AMP also expects a rules in an agent MD file. So the same rules here and the same instructions. And it's moving along. Also, it's updating to-dos here. What I like about AMP is we're given clear indication of how many tokens are used. It seems to be essentially keeping everything in context as it works. So the others, I believe, are implementing some context trimming. So it runs a task, context is trimmed, and basically a summary maybe of previous tasks is given, but the context consistently gets trimmed to save on tokens. AMP uses, at least it seems, none of them really give you all the technical details, but it seems like it's keeping the whole thing in context, and it's moving along this nice little to-do window here. I really kind of like that workflow of things. Now Cursor is also moving along. It is same concept. We have rules, but the nice thing about the rules in Cursor is you can break them down. So this is how we want it to work on MD files. These are specific instructions for those. PHP files, instructions for those. And this is if it breaks, this is how you restart, this is the procedure, and global instructions basically that are past every single interaction that it has is given as context. This is how you should work. Okay, the instructions, if we check here, again, they're the same across the board, so we're getting a pretty fair comparison of what they actually produce. One interesting finding from several runs is that the results are super inconsistent. So my workflow recently has been that I essentially let multiple agents run on the same one-shot prompt, and then I just pick the best choice that they produce. This really kind of reduces the amount of time that you spend troubleshooting and going back and forth, because if it produced a bad result with the initial run, that typically means it's going to require a lot of back and forth trying to fix it. It's a lot better if it produces a nice result in a single run, and essentially that means that you have a really good foundation to improve, to kind of tinker with, to finalize, instead of having to fix something that's already broken. Okay, so Windsurf is active. Let's refresh that page. Quick order copy. Here's what it produced. So let's type a previous order number. Okay, it pulled up. So search is working. Copy billing, copy shipping. Let's copy both. Didn't work. Oh, I think I know why, because this base order that we're looking at isn't in the system. So let's go ahead and copy that. Copy both. Okay, so Windsurf is working. Here's the interface it produced. The search works. The results, everything's kind of very simple, casual. I think if we move it here, it'll look a little better. it fits, but I like it in the sidebar to save space. So this is pretty good. I mean, it works well. It copies everything over. Yeah, it's a functional plugin. Let's then go ahead and see what Cursor produced. So here's Cursor. It's done. Here's the instructions. Here's the README. Okay, quick order search, mobile, everything's working. Let's go ahead and, so we're going to deactivate Windsurf version and activate the Cursor version. Let's go refresh the page, add new order. So created in the system. Here's the copy. Here's the copy. I don't know why there's two of them. The styling is a little bit broken, inconsistent. Also, it wrapped our order information thing in a strange wrapper. So 888. No orders found. Okay. So search is broken. Quickly here. The amount of times I ran this for Cursor, I think it's been about 5 runs with different implementations. Same instruction file, just letting it run while I was working on this video. And what I find is that the copy search design was always a little bit over the top for some reason. And it also always struggles with the actual search functionality. I don't know why this is the case, but it's consistently doing this. So Windsurf is broken. I'm not going to spend the time to troubleshoot it because trying to troubleshoot search, it does take quite a lot of time and effort, and it's very difficult to work back and fix that error, which is so integral to the actual plugin. So Cursor did not succeed. I'm going to go ahead and deactivate that one and activate the AMP version. So let's refresh the page here. AMP looks really nice. Let's see if it's working. Okay, some nice styling here as well. Basic instruction here. Copy. Let's see, copy. Order data copy successfully. And it has. Let's try a new order. Copy from previous order 888. Copy just the shipping. Order data copy successfully. Oh, it didn't work because I didn't save it. Okay, let's save it first. 888, copy shipping info. Okay, so I want to say that AMP was my favorite out of these. The functionality is good. It looks native to WordPress. It looks, I don't know, feature rich. It's out of your way. This model workflow is nice. That's actually in the instructions, just to create a model workflow or modal. I don't know what the correct term is. But I want to say AMP hit it out of the park with this run. Going back to previous runs and just how it all looks together, I want to say that the cost efficiency is definitely the best with Windsurf because for $16 a month, you get 500 credits and you also get inline edits for free. So you can essentially get that one-shot prompt, create a base version, and then go ahead file to file and fix things that you don't like or improve styling and things like that. With Cursor, for $20 a month, you're getting those same 500 credits, but you do get access right now to Claude 4, which is, in my experience, more, complete and functional and just more. In my experience, Claude 4 is the better model, but it does sometimes go over the top trying to be better and trying to kind of, hit it out of the park, but that causes a lot of complexity, which breaks the fundamental aspects of what we're looking for, if that makes sense. AMP is the most expensive. It's around $120 to create something like this, just a minimal WordPress WooCommerce plugin. And if you run like 4 of these agents at the same time, trying to work on the best version, it's about $4 then, right? $4 is a lot more than, what this will give you or this will give you. In terms of efficiency, so I didn't create a slide for efficiency, but I'll go ahead and just work quality, let's call it. I want to say that Cursor it tries the hardest, or with Claude 4, it tries the hardest. It gives you the most actual, code and kind of feature-rich code, if that makes sense. But it also has the highest probability to fail in this sort of workflow. At least this is from running these. Maybe like a 25% chance of success. Windsurf, With Claude 3.7, it was roughly about a 75% chance of success, but it also produced kind of the most basic version of what we're after. And AMP was roughly about a 50% chance of one-shot success. It had that same level of quality and features that the cursor run produced. So it wasn't kind of restricting the context or restricting in creativity, but it had a higher percent chance of success. And I'm going to attribute that to AMP probably using a larger context as it runs. But again, you're getting charged for that larger context. So there's the trade-off. So yeah, basically that's kind of a summary of where this comparison ended up. Let me know what you think, what your experience is, and which one you like the most, which one you're using. Let me know if you got any questions regarding any of the workflow specific stuff. Again, the workflow instruction generated with the most, details and information as you can, because that's going to enable you to do the most work through the agentic process and get started with that initial MVP. All right. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one. Let me know if you got any ideas for what you want to see next. Take care.